Alright, so it's been a really long time since I made a video like this. I think the last proper video I uploaded was sometime around my IIM Bangalore days. And now it's already been almost 2 years since graduation, which honestly feels unreal to say out loud. A lot has changed since then. Back then, life was assignments, placements, classes, meeting people all the time. And now it's mostly work, routines, traffic, and deadlines. Basically, normal adult life. And I don't know, somewhere in between all of that, I slowly stopped picking up the camera. Not intentionally, life just got busy. But recently, I've been feeling like documenting things again. Not because my life is super exciting or anything, but maybe because I want to look back at this phase someday and remember what it actually felt like. So today, I thought I'll just take you guys along for a regular workday in my life after I am Bangalore. Nothing fancy, no productivity hacks, no day in the life of a CEO type stuff, just a normal Wednesday. So yeah, let's head out. I step out and the day has already started for everyone. Traffic, people rushing, calls already happening. It almost like the city never really passes. Back in college, I used to imagine what life after this would look like. A good job, a stable routine, maybe a sense of clarity. And in many ways, that's exactly what this is. But at the same time, I think real life is a lot more normal than what we expect it to be. You slowly get used to its rhythm, wake up, commute, work, come back. And somewhere in between all this, you try to figure out what you actually enjoy doing. I remember when I was preparing for CAT, I used to imagine what life after an MBA would look like: a good campus, a good company, and a good salary. And to be fair, a lot of those things did happen too. But what nobody tells you is life doesn't suddenly become clear after you achieve your goals. In some ways, you just unlock a new set of questions. One thing I have noticed after starting work is mornings don't feel the same anymore. Back in college, mornings felt slower somehow. You would wake up, meet friends, go for classes. There was always something random happening. Now mornings feels much more structured. You already know how the day is probably going to be before it even starts. And honestly, I still find it weird sometimes that this is my life now. A few years back, I was sitting in classrooms at IMD, stressing about placements and summer internship. Now I am walking into a tech park every day, carrying a laptop, thinking about business numbers and meetings. Life changes very quietly. There is no big cinematic moment where everything suddenly feels different. One day you are a student, and then suddenly you are discussing quarterly targets and calendar invites. I don't mean that in a bad way though. In many ways, I am actually grateful for this phase of life. I have met good people, learned a lot, and become more independent. But at the same time, I think I'm still adjusting to how repetitive adulthood can feel sometimes. Maybe everyone goes through this at some point. There are so many people here, all starting their day just like me. Different backgrounds, different stories, but somehow very similar routines. I work at Misho now as an associate business manager, and overall, I genuinely like what I do. The work is interesting, the people are smart, and I learn something almost every day. But at the same time, there is also this feeling that adulthood becomes very repetitive very quickly. You wake up, commute, work, come back, and before you realize it, weeks just disappear. I walk into office. Everything is structured. Clean desks, clear goals, defined roles. It feels good in a way. There is a sense of direction. But it also makes you think, is this what we are all preparing for? I open my laptop and start listing down what needs to be done today. Priorities, follow ups, things to close. There is always something pending. And I think that's how work is. Now I take a small break, just walk around, get some water. These small pauses actually help more than you think. And back to work. Some things move fast, some things won't. Even Excel hangs sometimes. You fix it, move on. Kind of like everything else. And it's lunchtime now. A short break in the middle of the day. You step away from your screen, have a conversation, or just sit quietly. And then back to it. It starts raining outside. For a moment, I just stand there and watch. Things feel slower outside. Inside, everything continues at the same pace. I go looking for something to eat. Nothing really feels like the right choice. And I just go with water again. Simple decisions, but they add up over time. I wrap up for the day, close the laptop. There is always more that could be done, but there is always tomorrow as well. The office is quieter now. Most people have left. It feels very different from the morning rush. I actually like this part of the day. Everything feels calmer once most people leave. No meeting room conversations, no keyboard sounds everywhere, no rush, just silence. And somehow, after an entire day of constant work and noise, Silence feels really nice. The elevator is empty too, which is kind of opposite of how mornings are here. In the morning, everybody is rushing to start the day. Now it just feels like the building is slowly shutting down, breathing out. And then it's time to head back home through the Bangalore traffic again. Honestly, I think commuting gives you way too much time to think about work, about life, about whether you are actually enjoying the life you worked so hard to build. When I was younger, I thought once I got into a good college and got a good job, things would feel more certain. But I'm realizing life doesn't really work like that. You don't suddenly become fully confident or fully happy one day. Most of adulthood is probably just learning how to be okay with uncertainty while still moving forward. I reach home and things finally slow down. When I was at IIM Bangalore, I thought life would feel very different after this. And in some way it does. There is more clarity, more structure, and a certain sense of independence. But at the same time, I think happiness isn't something that just comes once you reach a place. It is something you keep figuring out day by day. And right now, I'm still in that process. So, if you just ask me whether I'm happy or not, I'd say this: I'm getting there.